me to him 3 times in a row if I have to down here inside the team. Allen's got it. Allen! Touchdown, Wisconsin!
I'm Alex Johnson. This is Yards Per Fantasy, and today we're talking Wisconsin running back Braelon Allen. We're going to dive into his background and college career, discuss the positives and negatives in his prospect profile, try to determine his dynasty value, and if and where you should target him in your rookie drafts. Braelon Allen, running back out of Wisconsin. He's a junior. He's just 20 years old, and he's 6'2", 235 pounds. Braelon Allen is one of the youngest prospects in the 2024 NFL draft class, and he got his start at Fond du Lac High School in Wisconsin, where he played running back, linebacker, and safety, as well as returned kicks. And in 7 games as a junior, Braelon Allen rushed for 1,039 yards and 12 touchdowns on just 71 carries, scoring 23 total touchdowns. But despite his prolific rushing stats, Braelon Allen was actually recruited with a 4-star grade as a linebacker initially. He ended up committing to Wisconsin as a running back, though, as part of the 2022 class. However, Allen was able to graduate high school a year early and join the Badgers in 2021. That's why he's so young entering the NFL. And at just 17 years old, Braelon Allen led the Badgers in rushing with 1,268 yards on 186 attempts. And he did that by rushing for 100 yards in 7 straight games. As a 17-year-old, he became just the 4th true freshman to hit the 1,000-yard mark in school history, alongside Ron Dane, James White, and Jonathan Taylor. That's a pretty good list. Allen capped off his incredible first season with 159 yards against Arizona State, on his way to being named the 2021 Las Vegas Bowl MVP. Again, at 17 years old. And then he built on that as a sophomore in 2022. He ran for 1,242 yards on 230 carries. And then he added another 104 yards on 13 receptions, and he scored 11 total touchdowns. His 984 yards in 2023 ranked 3rd in the Big Ten, while his 5.4 yards per carry was tops in the conference. He also hauled in 28 passes for 131 yards, and he finished the season with 12 touchdowns. But let's talk about the positives, the things that we like in Braelon Allen's profile. The first is his size. He's a massive 6'2", 235 pounds. Some places even list him in the 240s. We'll see what he officially weighs in at the NFL Combine, but this is a big dude. And no surprise, a guy that size is a physical runner. He runs with power and strength, and he's got good vision as well. He's a decisive runner. He doesn't dance around the backfield. He identifies the hole, and he goes. Braelon Allen ran for over 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns as a freshman at just 17 years old. I'm sure you're already sick of hearing me talk about this, but this is probably my favorite thing on his profile. The early, young production is just so huge. I mean, he was still only 17. This is essentially a high school kid running circles around grown-ass 21, 22, 23-year-old men. Unbelievably impressive. And then he had a 33% touchdown share in 2023. We love that. And he's going to be just 20 years old for the entirety of his rookie season. On the negative side, Braelon Allen struggles in pass protection. I mean, very few guys are polished in this area coming into the league, and Allen is likely not staying on the field on passing downs anyway. And that's because he lacks receiving skills. He also lacks elusiveness in the open field. He's not a fit in all running schemes. I'll touch on that a little bit more in a few minutes. He lacks breakaway speed. He's got poor stop-start ability. Once he puts on the brakes, it's hard for him to get back going. He also lacks explosion, and he averaged just 1.2 yards per team play in 2023. We're looking for something in the 1/8 or higher. But before we get into my NFL comp and draft projection for Braelon Allen, if you're enjoying this video and you find it at all valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be making content like this all the way through the NFL draft. I'm going to try to hit on as many of these prospects as I can. You can find even more of my content, including my rookie rankings, on yardsperfantasy.com. Braelon Allen's archetype is a grinder running back. My NFL comp for him is A.J. Dillon, and I expect him to come off the board sometime on day 2 of the NFL draft. The bottom line is Braelon Allen is a massive running back, standing at 6'2" and nearly 240 pounds. And unsurprisingly, his game is built around a downhill running style, utilizing his strength and his power to physically dominate defenses between the tackles. Allen runs with good vision, and he's decisive in choosing a lane and blasting through the hole. He may lack an explosion, breakaway speed, and open field elusiveness, but he makes up for it with his tackle breaking ability and the knack for falling forward for additional yardage after contact. This guy is built for a heavy workload at the NFL level. He has a frame that can handle 20 plus carries week in and week out. Hopefully he will land on a team that runs a rushing scheme that's going to fit his skill set. Meaning he's certainly not one of these guys who just runs to the tackles on like an outside zone stretch, puts the foot in the ground, and goes up the field. He's not that type of guy, like you would see in Miami, for example. More of a gap power scheme would be perfect for Braelon Allen. And in that case, he projects as a team's primary between the tackles grinder and goal line back. He will be best paired with a fast, quick backfield mate. He's going to come in on passing downs, because Braelon Allen is below average across the board when it comes to the receiving game. A landing spot like the Titans to replace Derrick Henry and to work alongside Tajay Spears would be ideal. And whoever drafts him is probably going to come sometime on day 2 of the NFL draft. I think his performance at the NFL Combine is likely to determine whether that's round 2 or round 3. He does have a shot to be the first running back drafted, but he could fall as far as like the RB4, RB5 with no clear top running backs in this class. And the same could be said in Dynasty, where Braelon Allen will have a wide range of potential draft slots in rookie drafts. He could go as high as the middle of the first in single quarterback leagues, or as low as like the late second. Most likely his ADP is going to settle somewhere in between. And his fantasy football ceiling is somewhat capped, given his lack of receiving game usage and his lack of athleticism to create those breakaway runs. He is a young prospect though, so his dynasty lifespan will likely be longer than most.